In a world that's becoming more digitized and more digital, what's next for safety, security, and accessibility?
Yeah, that's a good question, because what we find in the space is that it is moving quite rapidly, and there are a lot of changes. So what we're finding is that a lot of the idea around using your device as the single method of being able to authenticate yourself isn't as effective as it used to be. If you have a phone and you have a picture on that phone and you're using it to basically unlock the phone, that's not good enough. So most organizations are relying on advancements in the use of biometrics, and even going so far to say, we're going to use multimodal biometrics. In other words, not just one type of biometric, but really taking and matching two or more together with maybe a government ID or another verification point to create what we call a biometrically bound identity that allows you to then be able to use it over time in a repeated way. That will continue. With that, what we will also see is an advent of even more regulations. In the US, you'll see it on a state-by-state basis. In Europe, you're seeing it with the advent of new and different types of regulations around biometrics more holistically. And then, of course, all the privacy that has to be put around this and the consent to be able to use biometrics in this space. And then I think last, what we're really going to see is the emergence more and more of this idea of a natural, basically independently created digital identity. A digital identity that is not based on a document, but one is based on certain attributes of your personality and or where you're from, basically being used as a way to be able to digitize identity beyond just the services that are embedded in a passport that says that you might get certain types of services from a government. It will be beyond that, and it will basically play on the technical edge of the environment and allow more accessibility and more consumers to be able to use it in more places in more ways. That's a bit of the head of the wave, and we're going to see that emerge over time. We're probably a few years out from documents going away altogether. At least I hope not. Yeah, exactly. But we are seeing it all advance in that direction. We're absolutely moving in the direction where we're seeing the idea of a digital identity, biometrics substantiating that, and true accessibility moving beyond the technology that we have and being substantiated by the fact that I am who I say that I am, regardless of what a particular document says, and that I can prove that against fraudulent activity from those deep fakes, from those pictures that are manufactured in the space.
Thanks, Chris.
You as well.